Hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. It's been a while since I posted something. Been like crazy, lots of the stuff happening. However, I wrote a list of something that I did experience and I was like, wow, this has to be a joke. So let's talk about customer service. I was doing something. I was running a personal errand and I was at this place where this customer was upset, right? And two salesmen came to speak to her. She was upset. She raised her voice, and one of the salespeople just was like, "I'm not gonna deal with you," blah blah. He just walked away. Okay, he walked away. Look, I'm not saying that it's right for a customer to raise their voice, but I was hearing her story and I was like, I can understand why she was upset, right? Empathy was something that was needed at that particular time because it wasn't her fault. It was something that the company had done, which they were not being responsive for. And it was more than obvious that the one of the people that came to deal with the issue was one of these people that are like, okay, I just want to deal with the nice customers. I'm not interested in managing conflict. So what I'm saying with this is like, look, if you're not willing to deal with conflict, if you don't have the skill sets, if you have employees who don't know how to deal with customers, who don't know how to deal with conflict, you should provide some kind of training because conflict is part of dealing with people, part of like what happens every day. Okay, not everyone's gonna be happy. If everyone's happy all the time, it will be great, but that's not the case. Then with me at the same place, I have been dealing with this salesperson for like 4 days in a row. They owe me something. They still owe me, as a matter of fact. I think they're gonna get it. They're gonna. I'm gonna have whatever they owe tomorrow, maybe, because that's what they've been saying for like 2 weeks now. And the salesperson was supposed to be responsible to making sure that I would get whatever they owe me. And he was not being responsive, so I called. They wouldn't allow me to talk to a manager. He later texted me, and then we went over there. My husband and I went over there, and he said basically, you know what? I tried to help you guys. It's not working out. Not working out now from ourselves. It was not working out from whatever we're trying to do. And there's nothing else I can do. My manager will handle it. So bye. And he kept on walking. Basically, he's like, thank you so much for your purchase. We screwed you. And I really didn't want to deal with this shit. He just walked away. Okay? Nothing. There was this other guy who was listening in to what was going on, and he came over. I don't like this gentleman who was supposed to be helping us, who just walked away. He asked what was the problem. We told him what we've been experiencing for the last 4 or 5 days. And, every day, whatever. It's a long story. But he said, I understand what you're going through. I understand why you're upset. Let me see how can I help you. Okay? And then he managed the conflict beautifully. I was an upset client. My husband was an upset client. He did not say, it's not my problem. I'm just gonna walk away. It wasn't his problem, by the way. The other guy was supposed to handle it. Those were the instructions he was given on the day of the incident from the people who were there. They were like, you are responsible of solving this issue. It is your responsibility. He did not care. This guy took it upon himself to help us with everything. So there you go. One person who was really good dealing with customers, another one who just sucked at dealing with customers, who did not want to take any responsibility. And then the other scenario were in the same place, two gentlemen. One who stayed with the customer, and at the end she was even laughing with him, whereas the first one was like, I don't want to deal with you. Then another thing that happened was they told me they were going to solve my issue. I come in, right? I leave everything. I go in and they're going to try to solve my issue. And what happens? From the moment I got there, they checking my appointment or whatever. And they're like, you're not supposed to be here today. It was supposed to be 2 days ago. I was like, that's impossible. I showed them the messages I had and everything. And then they're like, okay, at the end, there was this really nice guy. Two nice guys, actually. The one that was looking at the appointment and the other one. They're like, we're going to solve your issue. Don't worry about it. Then an hour after me waiting for an hour, I was working at the place and whatever, waiting for the issue to get fixed. They come by and they tell me, no. When the appointment got all messed up and everything, they were like, you'll be surprised about how many times this issue happens. And I was like, I don't really care about that. Because that just means that they have a problem they yet to solve. And then we, the customers, are paying and suffering and going through hell because of whatever issue they have internally. So me as a customer, I don't want to hear you'll be surprised how many times this happens, because you're not making it any better. And then after, they said they were going to solve it. I'm sitting there after an hour and they come over and they're like, oh, there has been a mistake. We can't fix your issue. We have to wait another week because our systems do not communicate, and we did not know that we couldn't solve your issue even though we gave you an appointment. 3 hours into my whole thing that day. 3 hours, not 1, 3. I talked to the nice guy who was the one that helped me the night that the other salesperson did not want to help me. He comes over with this guy, and he's like, well, we're going to try to solve the issue. I'm sorry, and whatever. I was really upset. I was like, no, 5 days. 5 days me coming here to solve this. You guys have been telling me that you're going to solve this issue for 5 days. I've been wasting 3 or 4 hours of my day. And you have yet to solve it. I don't want to hear I'm sorry anymore. The funny thing was that the guy is like, we're going to tell the first guy, the one that was like, this is not my problem kind of deal, to call you. Like, I don't want to talk to this guy. This guy is a freaking joke. Okay? This guy is a joke. I don't want to talk to this guy. So I asked once more for the manager. I was told, you cannot talk to him. After we solve your issues, you can talk to him. So basically what they were telling me was, once everything is good, we will give you the opportunity to talk to somebody about the issue. Before that, you can't. Later, so I was like, so you can't let me talk to him. It was like funny. I was like, does this guy have a name? So he's like, yeah, he just gave me the name now. He didn't write it down. He didn't do anything. The other guy who was the nice one, he was like, don't worry about it. I'll send you the name of this guy. And I was like, okay. So again, can't talk to anyone. my daughter and I looked up the name of the guy. He's not the guy that I'm supposed to talk to, so I already have the names. But a couple of days earlier, like a week earlier, for another company, again, this company screwed us over, and we were trying to figure out what was going on. They screwed us. They literally are telling us the story, and we're like, okay, so you guys screwed up, so what now? They can provide any solutions just to tell us the story. Basically, it's on us. And at that particular time, I asked for a last name, which they couldn't provide because they said it was against company policies. Funny, because I had already spoken. I've been talking to this company for like months or whatever. It was never an issue until there was an issue. I asked for the supervisor, manager name of the department that I was, talking to, and they gave me a name. But no, this person could not talk to me either, and no last name either. How can you have a manager and a department and they are not allowed to talk to customers, where the issue is in their department? Why would you even have someone in charge of a department who are unreachable, untouchable? Or that's what your employees are saying. Maybe this is a bigger issue where employees are scared of a customer talking to their managers because of God knows what. Then later on that same call, I did talk to someone. I asked them for the last name. They gave it to me because it was not a company policy. And this lady was really nice. And right now we're solving the issue with the company just like the first company. But it's taking us weeks to do this. It is the craziest thing ever. So, look, you can't, when you're working with customers, it can't all be peaches and cream when things are going right, and then when things are not going right because you screwed up as a company, it cannot be like, well, you know what, we're not gonna be responsible for anything. Screw you, customer. The same thing I'm gonna say to customers. Guys, sometimes people are trying to help you, and from the beginning, for no reason, nothing has gone wrong, nothing, you're just rude, unpleasant, disrespectful, just because you feel you can do it. Because you're the customer, you're always right. These people at the other end, the ones that are receiving the message, they're just there to help you. So, I wanted to share this story because it is frustrating to be the customer who you screwed over and you don't care about. And then it is frustrating to hear the stories about employees who are getting screwed by customers for no particular reason. No reason. Why do you have the chip on your shoulder? Why do you carry this big ego and you need to treat these people like crap? Why is it that you need to be rude to these people who you hired to help you? Okay? Why is that? then the people that are being rude to customers or to a contractor who you just hire, why? Would you like to be treated like that? I'm just wondering because I'm sure you don't. And I love when people are in a meeting and they just love to raise their voice, just because they feel they can't when they're trying to prove a point, instead of like just expressing whatever they're concerned about, whatever. We all human, and sometimes we get upset when it's the norm. It's crazy. When there's people that don't want to work with you because every time you go to work with this particular person, you're just an ass, and then you're proud of it. There's always someone who later comes to you and does the same thing, because karma is a bitch. So, come on, there's no need for this. There's no need for it. So, if you messed up, please be responsible for it. Don't screw your customers over. And if you're a customer who's hiring a contractor, don't treat them like crap when they haven't even done anything, when they're just trying to explain maybe the project to you. Okay? Do not set unrealistic expectations. Why? At the end of the day, it's just not going to work out that way. So, very few times it does. Anyway, I had this. I've written down all these things because lately, oh my gosh, it's been like, I've been hearing all the stories and I've experienced all these things for the past couple of weeks, maybe for the past month, and it's like, it's mind blowing because, I help people with these things, and then when I come in and the whole process is screwed up, where everything does not make sense, where there's gaps in communication, gaps in the systems, it makes me a little bit crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It makes me crazy because it's like, how could no one be doing anything about this? So anyway, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you. I'm gonna finish my glass of wine. I just finished working. I'm tired. Bye bye.